Athletes understand one truth better than most: fuel matters. When it comes to performance, endurance, and recovery, what you eat can determine how hard you can push, how long you can last, and how quickly you bounce back. That's where starch comes in. Often overshadowed by the buzz around protein or trendy supplements, starch, particularly in its whole, complex forms, is one of the most essential sources of energy for athletes. It powers muscles, sustains concentration, and plays a critical role in restoring glycogen after intense exercise. Without adequate starch in the diet, performance falters, recovery slows, and overall training gains can be compromised. At its core, starch is a form of complex carbohydrate composed of long chains of glucose, the sugar your muscles and brain rely on to function. During exercise, especially long or high-intensity sessions, the body draws on glycogen, a stored form of glucose found in the liver and muscles. This glycogen is essentially your internal fuel tank, and starch-rich foods are how you fill it. When athletes consume whole grains, potatoes, brown rice, oats, or legumes, they're not just eating calories, they're stocking up their reserves, ensuring that when the moment comes to sprint, lift, or endure, the fuel is ready and available. Before training or competition, starch provides a steady, digestible energy source that keeps blood sugar levels stable. This is especially important for endurance athletes such as runners, cyclists, swimmers, and rowers who need long-lasting energy over several hours. Unlike simple sugars, which cause a quick spike and crash, complex starches digest more slowly, providing sustained fuel without the highs and lows. A bowl of oatmeal, a baked sweet potato, or a serving of whole grain pasta can power an athlete through miles of exertion without the energy dips that come with fast-burning carbs. But starch isn't just useful before a workout, it's equally critical afterward. Post-exercise, muscles are primed to absorb nutrients, especially carbohydrates, to replenish depleted glycogen stores. Consuming starchy foods in the hours after intense activity helps accelerate this recovery process. The sooner glycogen is restored, the sooner the athlete can train again at full capacity. This is why endurance athletes often turn to carbohydrate-rich meals following long runs or races, and strength athletes include starches alongside protein to rebuild energy and support muscle recovery. Certain starches are particularly valuable in this context. White rice, for example, is often favored post-exercise due to its rapid digestibility and effectiveness in replenishing glycogen quickly. It might not be high in fiber, but at this time, fast absorption is exactly what the body needs. For longer-term recovery and sustained energy, high-fiber options like quinoa, barley, lentils, and whole wheat bread provide both glucose and additional nutrients like iron, magnesium, and B vitamins, key players in oxygen transport and energy metabolism. Resistant starches, found in foods like cooled potatoes and green bananas, also support athletic health by feeding beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome plays a crucial role in reducing inflammation, enhancing nutrient absorption, and even regulating mood, all of which influence recovery and overall performance. While resistant starch doesn't directly provide immediate fuel, it strengthens the long-term foundation of health that athletes need to train consistently without injury or illness. Starch also plays a role in hydration and electrolyte balance. Glycogen, when stored in muscle tissue, binds with water. For every gram of glycogen stored, several grams of water are retained in the muscle cells, helping to maintain hydration status during prolonged activity. This is another reason why carbohydrate loading before endurance events isn't just about energy. It also ensures the body is retaining adequate fluids to support sustained output. Perhaps just as importantly, starch-rich foods provide psychological comfort and satisfaction, helping athletes feel full, grounded, and ready. Training at a high level creates enormous demands on both the body and mind. Meals that include hearty starches help reduce stress, promote consistent eating habits, and prevent the kind of mental fatigue that can lead to burnout or disordered eating. A serving of roasted potatoes, a warm bowl of rice and vegetables, or a post-run slice of sourdough with peanut butter can make the difference between feeling depleted and feeling restored. Across the board, from sprinters to marathoners, gymnasts to powerlifters, athletes rely on starch because it works. It's not a fad or a trend. It's the physiological foundation of human movement. Carbohydrates fuel muscle contraction, mental focus, and recovery at every level of performance. And the most reliable, nourishing source of carbohydrates? Whole, unprocessed starches. In sports nutrition, there's a saying, train low, compete high. This refers to training at times with lower glycogen to build endurance, but making sure to compete with full stores. That last part, competing high, depends heavily on smart carbohydrate intake. Not sugar rushes or energy drinks, but real food: rice, oats, lentils, squash, bread, and potatoes. These foods don't just fill the stomach, they refill the tank, in every sense. So whether you're an elite athlete or someone who simply enjoys pushing your limits, starch deserves a central place in your plate. It supports your body's most basic needs: energy, endurance, and repair, while offering comfort, taste, and long-term resilience. When chosen wisely and eaten in balance, starchy foods become more than fuel. They become your edge.